Hello, US 101 History. Welcome to week 11. Keep up the good work. I'm really enjoying seeing that so many of you are continuing to be engaged with the material. And this week, I think, is an extremely important and often much too neglected section that I'm putting, which is dealing with the Mexican-American War. I mean, it's quite, I'd say, outrageous that this is not discussed with like a certain amount of priority, especially if we're in California. And, you know, here we are in San Diego, Los Angeles, San Jose, Santa Cruz, San Francisco. Where are all these names, right? Los Banos, Manteca or Manteca. They're Spanish names because there was Spanish colonial influence, and this was Mexico. And we have this contention within our political culture about the importance of borders or not, and our relationship with south of the border, and where did this all come from? Where does this all start from? Come on, folks, right? It is unacceptable that our culture has really not tackled this very important war that affected the lives of so many people on both sides of the border, and really explains the context to so much. And I think that, you know, this documentary that I have us watch, I wish I would have been able to get a better quality showing. I had one before. Many of these videos would get removed. Some people get them up. It's not the quality I would like in terms of how the video is being shown, you know, cinematographically. But I mean, the discussions are very clear. You'll be able to hear them. The video footage, you will be getting perspectives from the Mexican side, from the American side, and basically what to make of this very, very important critical war that really became such a definitive aspect of so much of what's going on now. I mean, it's essentially, it was that last pushed westward by the United States, and Mexico lost a lot of territory, a lot. And the role, the means in which the United States attained this, to be blunt, the aggression of America and the war, is something that has to be dealt with. America always moralizes war. For God's sakes, look at how much money we're putting into Ukraine in the name of saying that it's not okay for Russia to invade a sovereign state. And yet, you know, you look at this war, okay. So it's something to really delve into and to think about and ask ourselves, as so much in this class, right? It's so many questions for Americans to ask ourselves about our ideals, our standards, what we say out loud, and then like what actually occurs. Now, the other twist that I wanted to throw in there, and which I put in with the link, is that while Mexico was a nation state and the United States was a nation state, the indigenous people that were here first weren't even a part of that discussion, and often are still neglected to be a part of that discussion. Now, you're going to see in the article here, it shows that the indigenous tribes that were here and both territories were not only affected by it, but also affected the course of the war, potentially. Something that's been left out of the history, which is the role in which the tribes here on these lands, how they were playing and being involved in this drama. And I want to remind you, I'm going to have a video that we're going to even cover with the indigenous peoples of this country's role in the U.S. Civil War. We need to really see that they were always a part of all of this history and the conflicts that took place as major players in their own right. And so, while it's true that Mexico was a victim of American aggression, I'm just going to put it out there, the indigenous people would argue most likely that they were a victim of both sides. That there was two, Spain came in with colonization, and the rest of Europe developing the United States, and that they were merely dealing with two outside players that didn't belong there in their minds. So there's a whole other wrench in that conundrum, right? Of ethics and morals and whatever. But here's also the other side that's important with it. As you will see, the already big hot debate about slavery and which new states that were going to come into the Union would be slave states or not. By our victory into the Mexican territories and getting so much new territory, there was this really hot topic, right? And we're going to see this in the videos of, are these going to be slave states or free states? And keep in mind, by this time, Mexico, we're going to learn, already abolishes slavery. So, essentially, the British abolished slavery, Mexico abolished slavery, then we have these very, very militantly pro-slave states versus other states in the United States that were against it. And this is going to basically make that question no longer possible to deal with without much more conflict, which is going to spill over into our own civil war. So this is going to be such a crucial link to all of that. Now, I also show one video with a Canadian perspective, and I point out if you actually look at the video over the video, if you look on your laptop, you'll see that I write that Indigenous people, some of the tribes, may debate with the way that he kind of says, well, everybody just got along. I think that that is debatable, but what's important, what I want you to just realize, is that Canada also, and the British, this could have been another war, and that Canada has their own perspective about all of the things that happened to the buildup of the Mexican-American War, and the United States gaining the territory of Washington and Oregon. Polk basically, there's the moral debate nowadays, but in terms of just a ruler who gets territory, that's his legacy. Polk gives the United States lots of land during his presidency. I mean that's a result of his policies, should I say? However you want to moralize that. So I hope that all of you find this to be a very edifying and interesting kind of link to many of what you know, things that you know, and will complement your knowledge of American history quite thoroughly. If you have any counter thoughts or anything you want to debate with me on or question about, please always feel free to send them to me. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll be in touch.